I'm
so dumb but good.
Yeah, it's like there's absolutely no reason for it.
Right.
But that's why they're so great.
It's a home accoutrement.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a certain way.
It does.
Yeah.
Like a little extra, a little spicy.
I was supposed to hit both the fleas, but there's so many estate sales today.
Oh yeah,
So I was
fun.
like, yeah. Crate digging at one had so much good.
Cool.
For like records.
Records, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I bought like 40 records today.
Nice.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Climb
step
on in.
step on in.
And so you like you're always hitting like estate sales and stuff like to kind of collect inventory and things. Yeah, pull that nice and close.
Yeah, in the business we call it sourcing.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate that so much. What'd
No,
you do
it's
today?
true.
Oh, sourcing. You went to the thrift store.
Christine loves sourcing.
I source all
should
the
start
time.
calling it that.
I should. And
It does sound more
yeah.
official.
Oh man, I do. It's my favorite way to spend. I mean, that's kind of how we know each other is through this world of secondhand
Oh yeah,
antique.
exactly.
Or did we meet at the summer night market first?
I don't know which one I did first, but yeah,
Yeah.
from selling and you got me on.
Get right up on
Yeah.
this guy here. Kind of, yeah, you can pull that nice
Hello.
and tight. I just didn't want it being
That's
too
how I
tight
like
on your
it.
ears. So
Nice and tight,
yeah,
like that.
yeah, perfect.
Perfect. But yeah, it's I mean, you're good at it. It was cool
I
getting you
love it.
in. For
Always
sure.
did it though. That's kind of the thing. Like when I was in high school, this would have been the 90s. Unfortunately, that's what I shopped. Like was my clothing. So 501s and vintage T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I have like real like distinct memories of like passing on like the best vintage tees. I'm like, I don't need that one. I already have a yellow shirt. You know, you keep going, but.
Oh, and those are the ones that haunt you.
Oh yeah.
Not haunt, but like just you. I just remember how much I'm sure I passed on over all those years.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, today I did super good.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah.
And you're still like have your vintage stuff in Palm Springs and
Palm Springs
here.
and Tucson, yeah.
So yeah, Midtown Mercantile here.
Yeah.
I've been to that booth. I've seen you there. And then Palm Springs, where are you there?
Market. It's the same dudes
that's
that
right.
do like the Mojave Flea stuff.
Cool.
It's cool. It's like a really high end kind of expression, but like reworked vintage. So I don't know if you know like RTH or Dr. Collector, those kind of dudes. It's kind of cool. It's always like cropped and baggy crotch and
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
extra pockets, that
Got
kind
you.
of thing.
They got
So
modified.
you
Everything's modified. Yeah.
So you
They
do
don't,
that, or you bring
Yeah,
it to
I
your?
do.
I know you said you have like a seamstress you work with too.
Yeah, so I don't do a lot of the sewing just because she's so good and she's so like fast. So she does like pillows and all kinds of stuff for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
And is
love
it ever like, okay, this is really cool. Like, do I leave it untouched or do I like sort of destroy and make something new out of it? Like, how do you kind of decide
So
what's sacred and what's not?
I've changed my approach to that. I've seen so many people like fuck up like, so, you know, since I said 501, like don't touch a pair of 501s anymore. I did it and I hate it now that I did, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just, you got to change it a little bit to add value, I guess is the way I think about it.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, JC and I were big believers in like destroy. Like while creating, like creation is destruction,
Yeah.
like equal parts, creation and destruction. Like, so we'll like make
For
something
sure.
and it's like, okay, now like let's destroy this and make something different with it, you know, like.
Right. Same thing with art, right?
Yeah,
a lot
for
of
sure.
my process with art is taking the paint away and seeing what's underneath all that, you know. It's the same thing.
You're a
Yeah.
big fan of the wipe away.
The wipe away, the scrape away.
Scrape away.
I use a lot of saliva. To,
Yeah, smell it up. Let me get that for you.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like a mother, yeah.
yeah. I almost put that, like I just had a show in November. I almost put spit as like one of the, you know, like spray
nice.
paint,
Materials.
acrylic, spit. Yeah.
Nice.
Didn't end
like
up doing
that.
it. But
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I mean, I guess all art is like is destruction. Even like painting, it's like destroying the perfect canvas, or like it's defacing. Even like cave paintings, you know, like it was graffiti. It's like defacing something.
Yeah.
It's kind of all art requires some destruction
yeah. And space.
and space.
Yeah, you need space and time.
and time.
Yeah. I think art is one of the like hardest things to do because you have to carve out that time. Yeah, I love it so much though, because that's when you can like feel like nothing else matters in that kind of moment. You know, you're not thinking about like what this piece is or who's gonna see it. It's all about that. Like, this is me right now. Nobody's watching. It's kind of like a very like intimate moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Music's the opposite for me. It's like, fuck, this song sucks. You
gotta
It's
battle through that.
Everyone's gonna listen to it. Yeah, music's more of a battle. Yeah.
Okay.
To me, at least.
Sure.
Some people, they could just shred and say, okay, that's heavy metal, and you're gonna love it.
I can make it without worrying
It's
about
all
it.
vulnerable to me.
But
I
I'm
feel ya.
sheepish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sheepish when it comes to sharing it with other people.
Right.
But when I'm making it, I'm not. I'm able to just kind of be in that zone.
So you never go there. You're never like, okay, this song sounds like, I don't know, Chapel Roan or something like that. It's just too pop.
That
no.
never happens to me. Like I
It's
can't
more
really
like-
do like if you said like let's make a pop song that sounds like Chaperone. Like we can start there, but by
Yeah.
the end, it's not
It's
going
not
to sound
gonna get there.
anything like that.
Okay.
And like, but maybe it'll be cool. But
Yeah.
if we're like, oh, but is it that thing we started? It's like it's not. It's never going to be.
Yeah.
I use it's a jumping off point. It's kind
For
of
me, it's like, oh, this song's too repetitive. Oh, my lyrics are too simple. Oh, my voice is flat. It's like critiques.
Yeah.
like
And
judging
then,
yourself.
and then sometimes they're not there. Sometimes I can listen to the music and be like, oh no, I do like this song. Like this is cute. And then other times I'm like,
Yeah, I do hate them all at some point, and then try
Yeah.
to come back to
Okay.
loving them. Yeah,
That's
For sure.
I guess that's where I'm at with it. Yeah.
Right.
You have to hate it first.
yeah, right.
to
It's
love
like
it.
this is garbage. This is garbage. Trash. This is terrible. This is okay. This is great.
Yeah, like the
And
moment
then
you do
this-
it, you love it. Then
Yeah.
you'll start to hate it. Then
It's
you
a
hate
whole
yourself.
journey.
Then you come back
Yeah.
back up the pyramid.
I've seen those memes. Yeah.
With your thrifting and stuff, like
Yeah.
what's the tipping point in your life where you kind of went like legit? Because like now you're selling it. You have these shops. You're like in Palm Springs. You're in Tucson. You're not just a casual thrifter.
Yeah.
You're also really savvy online, like your online presence, and
Oh, thank
that's
you.
really cool.
It hasn't popped yet. I don't know what that's about. But to answer your question, it was this thrift store in I was living in like the Tempe area when I was working for Doc Martens, and they had a Savers outlet, which was like a fill-a-bag situation, and it was the most lit. They must have had pallets of 90s stuff that had just never hit a thrift store, and I was the only picker. So I was going there every day, like, how is this even possible? Like the craziest honey hole and like the weirdest time of my life. So I just kept filling all these bags and like bringing them home. I'm like, okay, now what am I going to do?
Okay.
Because a lot of it was women's clothing, actually, like Y2K. And that's kind of how I started the Y2K thing, because I sourced this crazy amount in this 2-month period.
So
and then
cool.
it closed and it was gone. And I think it went to it was like a Big Lots after that. I don't know. But it was like I had to keep going back. It was like that. This like
Yeah.
hand picked me up in the morning and
I
then
s-
just
I
like
feel
dropped
that
me
hand.
there.
Wow.
That hand
Yeah.
knows how to grip me too. I mean, every
Yeah.
time I have any time to kill around town, it's like, oh, I better stop at Goodwill, see what's up.
Well, Tucson's pretty lit with it still. Like you can go Phoenix. It's like they don't even have a VHS tape in Phoenix Goodwills. Like it's just
Picked over.
all just really clean. They want like really new merchandise. Nothing with a hole gets through. So I'm not telling you the rest of the secrets, but I'll tell you where I go instead. But yard sales and estate sales are
Yeah.
kind of where it's at right now. The one today was like, okay, what happened to these people? You could tell it was man and woman's, like both of them. Usually
Okay.
it's like you can tell like, okay, there's a son, there's this person, but I was like, what is this story of these people? And I always want to make that joke, like, so like car crash or what was it?
Yeah, yeah,
you
right.
know, like
Wow.
Yikes. You had
what was
to-
the accident? What'd they get? What'd they catch?
Wow.
Because it's sad, right? And
It is a
like,
morbid-
You're in their house picking through years and years of stuff that they've just collected.
Right.
I just
Scavenging.
brought home some. I'm like obsessed with ephemera, like paper.
Me too.
Old printed, like floral, like natural Nat Geo prints, like anything with bold, like hand color. I'm obsessed. Anyways, I brought some new stuff home, and it's
Sick.
just like it is sick, but like you didn't really need it. Where was I even gonna go with that?
I don't know.
I should have hit
What
you
did-
up. There was shitload of Nat Geo and Life and all that
Oh,
stuff.
I love
Yeah.
them. Oh, I just made some joke about like our estate sale is gonna be so lit after because I'm
When
like,
we die.
yeah, I'm just bringing on more art to the
I'll be there.
piles of art. Like we have shelves of art, and I just keep bringing it in, being like, this paper from 1946 is really incredible.
We're spending our life curating our estate sale.
Honestly,
That's all really
I love
anybody
that.
is doing.
I guess we should make a note like in our will about just make sure our estate sale's popping. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like let's buy a round at least.
Open bar at our estate. So
Yeah, because
we leave a little money aside.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun. That sounds cool.
I'll be there.
But it is so personal.
It really
it's intimate.
is. I was going through the clothing and I could see like their style. Like I'm not even exaggerating. There were probably like 6 pairs of women's purple pants, like purple denim, really skinny. You know, they were like size 12 to 16. So I'm like, I don't know if that's a big market for large purple pants right now. So I passed on all of them, but I counted at least 5.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
so
when
she
it works,
had her
it
own
works.
style. Yeah. Right. So there's probably over the years, she was like,
Yeah.
I really liked those purple pants. Here's another one.
My grandma, she is still alive. She'll buy like, if she likes one shirt, she'll buy it in every color, you know? So there's a lot of that. I feel like in
Yeah.
older people's wardrobes.
Sure.
It's
Like, this is
they
my
know
thing.
it works.
Yeah.
I'm good. I like this.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
that's cool though. The estate says it's like a mystery, you know, like a detective a little bit too.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like digging. What do you like? You're mostly looking for clothes, or what
Clothes, VHS, any like dead media. I'm kind of into CDs, and there were some tapes today, but cassette tapes are kind of hard because you want like indie rock or hip hop or something. That's not going to be at some old person's house.
Right,
So
right.
Usually it's terrible jazz, and I love jazz. No offense, but it's
there's
bad.
bad jazz.
There's bad jazz.
There's bad
yeah.
everything.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, books like I love paper and ephemera and stuff like that too. But I was just in LA. I don't know if I mentioned it to you. My grandpa passed
Oh,
away.
yeah.
R.I.P.
Sorry.
And he was a preacher, and his estate sale is not going to happen because it's like the paper, the extent of things he wrote on over 60 years of being a preacher. Like, I don't know how our family's going to get rid of it. 'Cause it's like this like documentation also of his life. And like every book had like a name in it or like a scribble through it. And it's like almost like this history.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I think what we're going to try to do in the church is all these like back rooms, try to do like little libraries or like areas where people could go through and kind of see it in real life. 'Cause he never shared that kind of stuff with anyone to my knowledge. So
Wow.
yeah, really interesting. So, but yeah, you can't really sell a piece of paper because it's all really cool, like Xerox stuff, you know, like
Wow.
like really old paper, you know, that smell of like old paper. So crazy.
particular.
Yeah.
Have you read any of it? Your grandpa's stuff?
Oh yeah.
And like, what's he? Is it like
They're
philosophy?
sermons.
Like
they're sermons. Yeah. Really traditional Church of Christ. So it's like kind of fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
Really, really conservative.
Uh-huh.
Some of the beliefs, it's like, holy shit, Grandpa, like what? I was kind of like prying my dad a little bit, and he was telling me like he got fired from one church because in some kind of scripture. Is this too far? We're going.
No, I love
love
it.
the weeds.
Like
man.
going religious and cursing.
This
in the
is
same
so great.
sentence.
Go, fucking go.
So he got fired from a church. He got fired from a few churches until the one he ended at for not wanting to give money to like orphanages and like no to like soup
Kitchens, yeah.
kitchens. Like he was staunchly against any of that because it didn't technically go back to the church. It was like giving it to poor people. And he was against that. I was like, okay, the idea of Christianity is like kind of like,
Looking out for each other.
yeah, in a
And like
certain
helping the
way.
poor is
Yeah.
a lot of words about it. in
Yeah,
the Bible.
yeah, exactly. But
Wow.
for some reason, he took one of those scriptures and it's like translated a different way for him. So
Yeah, that's like the first, the lens it goes through that first.
He's got his
Interesting.
principles. Got to give him that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
to be fired multiple times, saying like, look, if you're gonna fire me, that's fine, but I'm not giving shit
Yeah.
to these people.
well, it's all
But
tradition.
the children love the books.
No, there was never any children because it's all old people. That's the thing. But he came from a long line of preachers, uncles and grandparents and great grandparents. They were all preachers. So
Wow.
Really
did you grow up
interesting.
super
I mean-
religious.
kind of like my mom was from a different. They met. My mom and dad met at the church, but my mom's dad was like in the Navy and had like 100 tattoos and drank every night. There's a famous story where he used to have to walk by my one grandpa on my mom's side would have to walk by my dad's dad like office. He had like a church bookstore and he always like felt really bad and he like regretful walking to the bar So
It's like the guilt of
the
walking
guilt.
by.
Yeah, he would always have to walk by Glenn's
That's
like
funny.
little bookstore, and he like
Walk of shame.
He would always do it. He went to the bar every night, so it's kind of like two really funny opposites, polar kind of
Yeah.
opposites. Yeah,
Those sermons would be cool to destroy and like use as in a multimedia kind of way, and
Really
just get
cool.
like new, like take over,
dude,
some
I would,
of that energy.
I would love that. Yeah, kind of mix it, like find like
Turn it upside down a little
flames
bit.
and stuff. Yeah, like hyper Christian.
That'd be cool.
Wow.
like
Yeah. I wonder just what all is in there. Like, and are you ever going to be able to read it all? Like, is that someone's
Do you
plan
even
that
want to,
It will
you
be
know?
all read and like documented in some way.
So I hope so. I hope it can
Yeah.
be documented, but there's probably just too much. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about stacks of those like spiral notebooks, like full.
Wow.
Like you can go through it if you wanted to, but
Sure.
I think after one or two, I'd be. I got
We
it.
got
I got it. I got it. I'm going to hell. I got it.
Yeah,
Pretty
spoiler
pretty
alert.
normal, yeah.
It's not working out for you.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, wait. So I want to go back to this because like you're like kind of becoming legit with your thrifting. You know, like
Yeah.
just because like I make music, I'm trying to become legit in my stuff, and like
Yeah.
I'm inspired that you went from like I just thrift or whatever to like it's legit now. Like,
This is it.
was there
Yeah.
a tipping point? Is this a gradual? You get all that inventory, but then you still had to go like I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna start going to like flea markets and stuff.
Really good question. So my brother started. This was years ago. He started printmaking with one of his homies. Just got into it. I think he went to school for it, and he was a super nice dude. And he's like, "Hey, you want this press? Like, you can have these screens. Like, here's some ink." So we just started printing T-shirts, and it was like, "Oh, okay. Like, I can make stuff too." So the things that I've made, we kind of have it make it look like it's a old school vibe, but we're not trying to trick anyone. Like, it looks like it's, kind of like your shirt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a new shirt. You can make 100 of them, and then there's your money, as opposed to like wasting your day looking for, because that's what everyone wants is a T-shirt. And at the end of the day, people are buying T-shirts, and that's kind of like the easiest sell. So I always get like a USA blank, something boxy, print it really nice, and kind of go from there. So that's like the extension of it. So,
I would love your
okay.
help with that sometime. I do a lot of printmaking, but I've never done the screens. I've never gone there.
So
Figure
we
it out.
actually just go to Cream. They're
Nice.
they're
Yeah, they
so
do such a
cheap,
good
and
job.
they do such a great job. And
Yeah.
they're the homie too. So
Yeah.
they'll just burn it. I had ex-girlfriend that would do all that kind of stuff too, but yeah, it's like if you have someone you can just take it to, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
easy. Let's just start
Totally.
making
There was
T-shirts.
not that long ago on Facebook Marketplace, a guy in town here with like 30 different screens. And I think
Yeah.
it was before we had moved back. It was over the summer, like last June or something. And I was trying to coordinate my friend to go pick them up. I was like determined to get all these. And they were like vintage screens.
They were burned
And a lot
too?
of
They
them
had, like,
were,
images?
a lot of them
Sick.
were like old tourism shirts from New Mexico. There was some cool like Land of Enchantment vibes going on, and I was like, "Oh, I want them all!" Like, you know,
You couldn't get them.
it didn't work out this time, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Couldn't get 'em.
Somebody listening has
Yeah.
them. They're like, dude,
Hey, we want those prints.
We want those screens.
give me the
back.
screens.
We want
Give
those
us one.
screens.
Share the wealth.
Yeah, you can never have like enough, right? Like how like
I'm
never
always
enough.
I went
collecting
record
hobbies.
shopping yesterday. I was like, I need to stop. Like, and today we were at the flea market and there was like records, and I was like, I don't even want to look through these because I'm gonna see something I want. I'm gonna buy of like 6 of these, and like I don't need 6 more records again.
No, it's
Or do I?
yes. If you're not buying, you're dying. That's
There
a
you go.
quote.
That's the
I learned
American way.
early.
Those are my favorite
early
words.
in my life. If you're not
Nice.
buying, you're dying.
Not
Cheers.
buying, you're
Hey,
dying.
yeah.
Wow, I can
Exactly.
get behind that.
I bought 40 records today. Did I mention that? Dude, good stuff too.
Records day, maybe.
Yeah, like Hank Williams, Fats Domino, like all this really good stuff. I'm obsessed with like those 70s vinyl that were like the 50s compilations, like Lollipop and kind of those all like that really like bubblegum.
Yeah, I
kind of thing.
like that stuff.
I want to do like a new DJ project where it's all like bubblegum, like 2-minute songs, like
Cute.
just so fast, you know, because
Yeah.
those songs are so quick.
Sure.
So you're like
I feel like that'd be
all
like
night
a,
long,
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth, back and forth.
Like fuck, I'm out. I'm out of records already. Shit.
No, that's why you buy a ton of those, because you can just let 2 play sometimes too,
Yeah.
you know, because they're so fast.
Nice. So you
But-
you do a lot of DJing with vinyl?
Not yet. I used to do CD stuff. So I was on KTDT for a long time doing live CD.
Sick.
And it was like the hardest thing ever because in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe 20 people are listening. And I'm like curating the coolest, weirdest, like sub pop, bargain bin 90s, like CDs. And you never know. You have no idea who's watching or who's listening or whatever. So it's like afterwards, the high is so dramatic. Like you just go from here to nothing afterwards. Cause like when you DJ live, it's like, oh, cool. Like, hey, like, good set, or like, here's a tip, whatever.
Right.
But when you DJ on the radio, it's like so like anticlimactic.
Right. Because the crowd is sort of in your imagination.
Yeah.
Their like enjoyment of it. You're like picturing someone in a car somewhere, but like, you're just kind of making it up. You're not sure they're there.
You're not sure.
How do you know it's landing?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Funny.
But it is fun to think about, like, fuck, I bet this is the perfect moment. I'm like setting this person's life up to like think about this certain thing.
At least one. Gotta be.
There's gotta be one, right? Yeah.
You're making somebody's day, for
Especially when you like hit them with like a Cocteau Twins, like really crazy, like B-side, you know what I mean?
I don't even know what that is. You gotta tell me.
either.
You know Cocteau Twins? Oh, it's like slowcore, like 80s, early 90s, like really melodic, beautiful, almost like a Bjork kind of sound, like really melodic, like female singer.
Sick.
Really cool.
Okay.
Oh man, you would love it. You would love it. Yeah.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, it's like, that whole like Slow Dive and Lush and all those kind of in that same vein.
Sick. Do you think, we were actually talking about this on the last episode, like vinyl, obviously people want vinyl, like CDs, do you think the same thing is going to happen with CDs?
It's already happening, bro.
Wow. My guess, what I said on the last podcast was like, I don't think it'll happen with CDs because it's like this digital
It's already happening.
thing. CDs are big.
It's wild. Yeah, being at Midtown, we have a very young customer because they're like fiending for that mall atmosphere that we got just out of pocket, right? So these people, they call it thrifting still, which is like the most annoying thing. You're at an antique mall and you can hear them saying, oh, I'm out thrifting with my friend. But yeah, they're buying stacks of them. They're buying stacks of CDs. And I've actually approached a few of the kids and I'm like, so you listen to those? Like you have a CD player or whatever? Like, oh no, I just love this band and it's cool to have this physical copy because they've never seen the liner notes, right?
Right.
It's like just all digital. You scroll and push a button. They've never opened them up.
The lyric books are so great. I loved looking at all those lyrics, man.
Wow.
So, and cassettes you can't even find. Like you can't even find a cool old cassette without spending $20.
And why is that? Cassettes was like a short-lived moment?
Probably because they've all kind of either gone to their home, got donated. Nobody was actually rebuying them, at the time that they're getting donated. That's what I assume. And I think less, right? Because CDs happened and then cassettes went way far down the line. And that was probably almost early 90s, right?
Right.
Yeah, so kind of weird. Yeah,
like the window of, I'm just kind of guessing, but like records, vinyl had like a nice, good long stint. And then everyone's like, oh, we got tapes. But then not that long later, they were like, we got CDs actually. And then like tapes had this kind of shorter window maybe. Yeah. Like there's less tapes.
That's why you see a lot of like heavy metal. Like you can get a Dokken or Ted Nugent or, anywhere pretty much. And those are cheaper. But yeah, like a Nirvana tape is going to set you back. And any of that grunge stuff is like really, really hard to find. Yeah.
And then VHS is the same thing like the CD. Very few people are watching these VHSs. It's like a collector's item.
So how are you setting me up for this? I'm a tape head, right?
Well, I know.
Talk to me. I've got over 3,000 VHS tapes in my house right now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what people say when they walk into my house usually. Whoa.
But that's a lot of value, right? And that's a building
some
value.
Of them, yeah. Some of them are
those
really...
orange Nickelodeon ones.
Oh, yeah.
I loved those.
I got a whole stack of Rugrats. I watched the Rugrats the other morning. It was like, it's the best feeling. You're like sipping your mushroom coffee, watching Rugrats. There's nothing like it.
Do you have the
I'm
little
not,
TV
you
with
are,
the
but I love
VHS
it.
attached or separate?
I got like 4 of them.
You got it all,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So
what's your prized possession VHS?
Oh, what a good question.
Do you have Fern Gully?
Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic.
And Fern Gully too, also.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't even know there was a Fern Gully.
Straight to tape, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, they didn't release it.
Yeah.
I think Chopping Mall, like a weird horror.
What's that? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's this group of people. I think they were like supposed to be teenagers, but they look like they're 25, get trapped in a mall.
They're always
and
like 35, so that makes sense. You know?
Shopping mall.
Chopping mall.
Like it's a play on shopping mall.
Yeah.
But they're getting chopped up.
Oh,
They're more like
man.
robots with lasers, actually.
shit.
Wow.
It's really sick.
Okay.
It's a really
Chopping
cool
them
one.
down.
Yeah.
When
And
I
it goes
was-
for like $100, something like that.
When
Wow.
I was little, we had the minivan, and we would like on road trips from Chicago to Florida. We would take out the middle seats, the middle seat, and then we'd put the TV with the VHS in between my parents' seat.
We did the same
And then
thing.
like laid down with sleeping bags.
Oh.
And my older sister would get like the back bench seat, and Kelly and I would be on the floor of the van
Oh.
in sleeping bags and watching the VHS for like hours.
we were safer. We were wearing seatbelts.
We
That's
did
pretty-
not.
that's
We
kinda
did.
gnarly,
We were just having the time of my life.
the 90s. Bless
Yeah,
them.
it was great.
But yeah,
Fond
the
memories.
VHS, the little VHS TV that had the player on it. We should
Yeah.
get one of those, man. What do those run you?
$100.
Okay, we
If
do
you can
that.
find one, that's the thing.
Ah.
Yeah, just do Craigslist and try to get like when they notify you or whatever when it pops up.
Mm-hmm.
And at your little booth, your booth in the mercantile thing. I
Yeah.
think I went to it.
Yeah, I
you have
showed
like
you
a
last time.
N64 in there and stuff.
It's a TV. It's the
Yeah,
combo.
okay.
Yeah, I ended up taking it out because so many people ask about it. So, I mean, speaking of N64, that's what they want it for. Old gamers, they
Right,
want
right.
to put N64 because I guess the tube makes it look a little bit more like you would want it. Like back like more nostalgic kind
Right.
of feel. So that's the gamers like go crazy for it. Like, why is it in your booth then? It should be for sale. I'm like, I'm not trying to sell it, dude.
Right. I mean, don't you
it's a
remember back in
vibe.
the day, you'd go into like Blockbuster and you can like play a little video game while you stand there if
So
you want.
cool.
Like, you
Yeah.
should be- was that the idea in your shop? Like you can stand here and play it?
To watch, just to watch. I usually
watch it
put
kinda
like
run.
cartoons or something,
okay,
something
nice.
weird on,
Nice.
yeah. Because a lot of those like the really old school cartoons, they put like 6 hours on one tape, so it runs like the whole day, like
Cool.
Superman into like Three Stooges cartoon, all kinds
Sick.
of weird stuff. Yeah,
Slow Body has a little TV and VHS. I've
They
been
do,
noticing when
yeah.
I'm there.
yep.
Yeah. I like,
It's a vibe. It
Yeah.
for sure is.
and they've got that little TV too. Yeah.
It's right on the corner. I'm loving it. I'm like, because there's people there alone. I saw this one guy just solo, just like
Just watching
chuckling at the
TV.
TV every once in a while. I'm like,
Yeah. Someone put your
yeah,
eyes on.
Yeah, a little something at the bar.
The bubble TV feels like less kind of abrasive, whereas the LED is almost like fluorescent lights in
Yeah.
a room. Like,
It feels different.
it feels different.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with like the glitch and like previews, and there's just so much to it, like
previews.
I love
sometimes
previews.
dude, sometimes I'm done with dinner before like the movie even starts. Like previews could go on for like 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I don't know if you remember, they do some of them are like the classics collection. They'll do like a montage of like this collection. It's like 7 films that don't make sense to each other. So it goes like Eddie Murphy Boomerang into like this Meg Ryan rom-com
Like
into like an
Titanic.
old thing. It's so cool because they have like one song playing over the top of it, like Huey Lewis or something. It's like do.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Dude, the previews,
Hard.
that's the real timestamp of it, is
Hell
what's
yeah.
on the preview.
yeah.
Wow. Because you might even have some of these movies that like flopped, but like Nickelodeon was really pushing it,
Yeah, some of them I actually have ordered on eBay. I've never heard of this film, never seen it before.
Oh, wow.
So you can just pop
But
it
you
up
learned about it
and-
from the preview.
From the preview, yeah.
Wow.
And that was always their goal, right? Back in when that time happened.
Yeah, exactly. And what about N64 games? Are those valuable?
I'm not too sure about like old school games,
Okay.
to be honest. I know they are, but that fluctuation is kind of crazy. It's all about the buyer. Like what's the person that's going to pay for it, like what's it worth to them.
So what's kind of the hottest thing right now?
Horror will always be the hottest. Yeah, VHS horror, super expensive.
Because
Because
the
they're
people
like
who want
limited
it,
batch prints or
A lot of them
copies
are
or whatever.
B, like stuff that was like never released on DVD or it's not streaming somewhere.
right? More rare. Yeah.
that kind
okay.
of thing. I mean, as far as I know, that's the biggest thing. And then, like I said, like grunge cassettes and that kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, horror as a genre has like horror and sci-fi maybe have the most diehard fan base as far as genre of movies go. But yeah, horror's big.
yeah, especially the weird slasher, like B movie kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Really like funny. It's more comedy than actually being scary.
Right.
On
Which-
that note, I've never seen Christine. I've got to see it
That's
still.
a good one.
Oh, I've
Killer
never seen
car.
it either. Oh,
She's like a car that kills, What's not
Wow.
to love?
Yeah, that's like you
Grouchy
when you
ass
get road rage. Christine in LA, it doesn't happen here anymore. But Christine would come home in LA like, dude, I almost just hit this guy just to like prove to them that they were like in the wrong. You know, like they shouldn't have pulled out in front of me. I was able to stop, but I almost just
I
let it
almost
go.
didn't. I almost chose not to stop.
Just smash into them so they would know.
Teach a
dealing with
lesson.
some road rage in LA.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I went from, my family was in Carson, and I went to visit a friend in West Hollywood. 5 hours of my day gone.
Oh, jeez.
2 hours in, almost 3 hours out. It was so brutal.
Wow.
But, you know, I was like meditating and like just
You make
trying
the
to
most of
breathe.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
That's
wild.
where I started bringing road joints. I'm like, at least,
That's
because
great.
that's the real thing I'm rushing home for at the end of like a long day or when I'm sitting in traffic. Like, I just want to smoke a little.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can do that, that takes the edge off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, here, that's a huge difference we've noticed, obviously, that we can like pop over there, pop back home, and like that used to just be your whole day if you tried
Yeah.
to make a little errand like
Yeah,
that.
there was
you know?
nothing easy about
Yeah.
nothing easy about shuffling around. Here it's like, okay, I just stopped at Midtown. Now I'm gonna do a little Whole Foods, pop over, you know, whatever. It's just like boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy.
You grew up in Tucson?
I didn't. I moved here about 5-6 years ago.
And where'd you
something
grow
like
up?
that.
In California?
I was back and forth, California and like Tempe area.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Tempe, you said that.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Tucson?
An ex-girlfriend.
Hmm.
That's why anyone moves, right? Ex-girlfriends.
Sure. They're a powerful force in the
Yeah.
universe. Yeah.
I'm like waiting for another girlfriend to make me move somewhere.
Take you somewhere else. Yeah.
Because I never make the decision on my own, you know?
Funny.
Like, I want to move to Philadelphia. No, like you move because
Yeah.
someone
She
else.
wants to
Got a
move to
honey.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, job opportunity or a lack of a job, you know,
Right.
who knows?
Yeah.
What do you think though? Is there anything intriguing, like any place you have your eye on that you're like, I wish I could get pulled over there?
No, everywhere sucks. You know, it just depends on how you feel and
Yeah.
your body because everything's the same anywhere you go. It's all about people, and Tucson has like a lot of really good people.
Totally.
Yeah, but Phoenix is intriguing because they have such a weird young scene. You know, I mean, my brother played a show last year, end of last year, and he was like, "Yeah, there was a line outside of the building." I was like, "There's never been a line to go anywhere in Tucson.
No.
like,
Yeah, right.
There's no line to get into any place here."
No,
And that's a big difference because LA has it. Like, there's lines
Sure.
kind of everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Even clothing stores have lines, but. Yeah, when he told me that, I was like, that's a light bulb. People are doing things there, huh?
Yeah, people are active and they want
Yeah.
shit to do. I didn't realize young people are in Phoenix so much.
Shitload.
I mean, obviously they are, and it's a major city. But yeah, I pictured it more
Yeah.
as like an older.
Well, it's also,
Crowd.
you know, you have Tempe right there, which is a huge college town.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's true.
one of the biggest schools
Yeah.
ever. Like it was like,
Yeah. I think a
what is it,
lot
like
of people.
87,000 kids or something
Oh, wow.
go to
Oh,
school.
geez.
I don't know what it is these days.
Well, think about all those
Curious.
burbs.
Misinformation.
There's so many burbs around.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Yeah.
so,
So sprawling.
their place. Oh, I'm gonna move to downtown Phoenix. You know, like that's
Right, they grow up and move downtown. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's where they're getting them all. It's
So-
like a vacuum.
You and ex-girlfriend moved to Tucson together.
Yeah, we were living in Portland. I was working at Doc Martens. She was working at Doc Martens, and that's how we met.
Cool.
And I moved up there and started working for Le Labo. I don't know if you're
What's
familiar.
that? No.
It's a perfumery.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
It's kind of the smelly stuff. Whenever I go somewhere, it's like,
do you mean?
whoa, you smell so good.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like one of those fragrances where
It's a wow.
very memorable, very like,
Okay.
if you know Le Labo, people will be like, I love Le Labo, but how do you afford it? So she got hit up by an ex-employer and was like, hey, we're opening a new store here. There's all these benefits. So we were like, we have to do it, right? I've always wanted to live in Tucson. It was kind of like the perfect situation, but
Sick.
Because it's grungy and weird.
because it's grungy and weird and cheap. Being in Portland for a year, it was like
Dang.
kind of like hard, you
Yeah.
know, raining, and it's like, damn, we just worked a whole week and we got no money still. Like, what just happened? You know?
Yeah.
But-
LA's like that too. Yeah. It's like
Yeah, that's why I left there.
you're always kind of like
80
trying to stay above water.
80,000 kids on campus at ASU. And then
Damn.
145,000 plus enrolled, like online and stuff.
Oh. Big school.
Nuts.
You know what? And a lot of those people come from out of state too. And I
Yeah.
think maybe that's part of it. They stay and go to Phoenix because Phoenix is kind of cool. There's a lot of cool stuff.
I
It's
always
growing a
heard,
lot
at least
too,
at the
right?
U of A, though, that they had this whole like brain drain problem where they like import students and all these young people, they train them, they invest all these resources, and then they all just like return home.
Oh, they do.
So it's like this mass exodus after the investment in them.
Damn.
But I don't know if maybe that doesn't, like, that effect isn't so strong in Phoenix because it is a bigger city and there's more job opportunities, so kids stick around.
The U of A deals with that in
Right.
Tucson, you're saying. Mm-hmm. Like they educate people, then people leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's...
Which I guess, is normal. But, like,
You don't want them all to stay. There's a lot.
Tucson also has, like, a lot of, like, federal jobs, and those are, like, less... They grow slower
Had a
than
lot of
they.
federal
Yeah, they did have a lot of federal jobs, but those grow slower than, like, independent sector sometimes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a little, like, sleepy in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
but it's having a little shake up. It's changed a lot in, like, the last 5 years for sure.
Yeah. I missed buying a house. When I moved here, I was like, oh, yeah, $250K, I can make that happen. It's like doubled or something even crazier.
I know the pandemic really changed everything.
Yeah. And I helped house a lot, or like furnish a lot of people like kind of our age. It's like, damn, dude, I should have just like stayed in LA for a couple more years, made a couple extra bucks, and then moved. Cause I mean, they're like just working remote, you can still live here and just do your job in Detroit or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I do. I work remote I was working remote in LA, and I'm just working remote here.
So sick. Yeah.
It's really worked out.
That's the trick.
Well.
That's the life hack.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, it's like move to a city where like they pay well. Like move to New York or LA or something.
Yeah.
Get a remote
the
job and get the fuck out of there. And you'll do pretty well. Yeah, that's
Buy
funny.
yourself a little laptop.
Yeah, that's all you need. A laptop and a cup of coffee, and you're set.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's like the hipster starter pack.
Yeah, the hipster starter pass. Yeah, after the post-COVID.
Yeah. We don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. Yeah, I know.
When people say pandemic, I just like, did you have to say pandemic? You know what I mean? Like we
What a
were
time.
there. We were there.
What a
Yeah.
weird time.
Weird thing.
Did you pick up any weird, like, hobbies? I feel like everyone got a new hobby in the pandemic. For me, it was lino cuts, like printmaking.
Oh yeah, cool.
That's when I started doing that.
You started with potatoes, or what did you start with?
No, my buddy had showed me like the materials, and he had like made a bunch
Cool.
of stuff, and I was like immediately like, oh yeah, I'm doing that, and
Nice.
ordered all the what's the word?
Linoleum?
Linoleum blocks. Right. Linoleum.
That sounds cool. I'd
Yeah.
love to see some of that.
Oh, that's fun.
I love any process of printing. Something about it. It's
Yeah.
like so cool.
I know. And like, it's weird. You would think it'd be annoying, but like the ink gets used up pretty quick. So you're always like adding another little drop of the next color. So it's like almost every other print is getting its own color.
Yeah,
You
they're all
just
unique.
keep blending, and like it's so satisfying watching, like changing the color from like lighter to darker and like moving it around as you print. It's fun.
It's cool too when you lock in on something, you get multiple uses
Yeah.
out of it.
Totally.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I actually got fucked by it because I was tie-dyeing and over-dyeing, and then the wave happened with all these people doing it in their apartment.
Suddenly everyone's making
Yeah,
shit.
suddenly everyone was tie-dyeing. So like I was like, what the hell? Like I've been doing this for a few years now. And then it kind of like, oh yeah, you tie-dye too? Yeah. And then, because I listen to Fish and The Dead, and so my friends and all, like it was just like, oh yeah, I'm making tie-dye shirts for myself in that way, right? And then everyone was doing it, and it was like the most. Do you remember this wave at all? It was like a huge YouTube
tie-dyeing
and
wave?
Instagram wave. Yeah.
I feel like a little bit, and like now it's natural plant dyes,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I also want to do. I got
I'm
like
into that,
some
yeah.
more of the things. I forget
We're
what
growing
it is.
indigo right now.
I'm
aren't we?
growing
So you can-
indigo.
Oh, whoa, cool.
Trying.
If you get a vat together, that's like party vibe,
Yeah, no kidding.
because you can have it for a couple days.
Yeah, and just have everybody bring some clothes they want to dye. That'd be so cool.
I've always wanted to do that. That's
yeah,
Dude, we gotta have a dye party.
I would love that. It'd be so cool. Yeah, I need to maybe do like a workshop for it at Blue Maven too. I'm like gonna organize some more stuff for the shop to host.
Oh,
and I have to
cool.
come up with like collabs and stuff. And sometimes it's like tasting and bouquet making, but I'm more like, how
Yo,
can we
you
get,
all
like,
are eating
art
flowers
programming?
over there?
We should be. We're not really.
That would be cool.
Eating flowers?
Yeah.
I know. I wanted to do
Flower
like
tasting.
a sort of.
Yeah, you should do a flower.
I know.
tasting.
I suggested to do like a edible cooking one or like cocktails, and then get like some books. Just have books available that are like cocktails and flowers, and just have like
Yeah.
how hard can it be? but
Not
Can't
bad.
be.
Yeah.
I'm
You can
excited.
do it.
I'm really excited for the
Love the positivity.
Yeah.
like the summer. It's gonna be fucking hot, but I also am excited for like that weird hibernation that comes because we've been like running
active.
ragged. It's been high season over here, like lots of hosting, lots
Yeah.
of work and gigs, and I'm like, when is
When is it gonna be
that
summer?
coming? When is that?
Yeah. When is it too
chill-
hot for anyone to even want to come?
Yeah, when is everything canceled?
I kind of like that mentality. I can't wait till it's
Yeah.
120 degrees out.
Can't wait. Can't wait till
Hunker
my
down.
skin just
great.
sizzles on everything.
The burning AC
Yeah.
in restaurants and grocery stores.
I am scared
Yeah,
though.
Just gotta like run from
Yeah,
enclosure to enclosure.
Yeah.
So
it's a real deal.
you mentioned fish and the dead and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Sphere yet?
No, my friends all
Any interest?
went.
No interest?
Yeah, I want to go, but that ticket's so expensive. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what they paid. It was probably 500 or something like that for a
Would you
ticket.
rather see fish or the dead at the Sphere?
The dead? Yeah. Well, all the members are passing away, so yeah.
The current dead. Yeah.
yeah. But John Mayer,
John Mayer.
I'd go to a cool John Mayer concert. Yeah, that plays Grateful Dead music.
Right. John Mayer like featuring Bob Weir or like with Bob Weir sitting in.
I
Yeah.
know. When do they switch the name? Right, like John Mayer
And
and
the Dead.
featuring the dead.
Right.
Yeah, remaining members of the dead. But
Uh-huh.
but Fish is sick. Have you ever been to a Fish show?
I have. I'm not
have.
the biggest fish fan,
That's good.
but I've been to a show.
It's not
Yeah.
for everyone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's one of those things that it's either like a weirdest experience and everything like hit right, or
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what the fuck? These people are stupid. Like this music sucks.
I mean,
you got
I
shot in the
mean-
eye with a
Oh
laser.
God.
I mean, there's something when everyone else is so into something, you're either like going with it 100% or you have to kind of fold your arms at it a
Yeah.
little bit. It's like a weird,
Oh, totally.
almost childish like reflex. So that was kind of me at the fish show. I was like, this is fine, but like it's not that good. Like
Yeah.
it's not as good as this guy clearly thinks it is. And so I kind of had like an attitude, I think.
Do you know who I think
know?
has like a cult like following is Billy Strings. And when I went to
Definitely.
their show at the Greek, and I didn't really know them at all. And I like fell in love too, and I was like totally drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm like, I get it, but it was like you could tell they were loyal fans there.
Yeah, it's cool. Somehow he's getting grouped into that whole culture too. A few bands are getting kind of swallowed up. Like Ween is getting swallowed into that too. Which
don't know
I was
them.
always a huge Ween fan.
Ween is cool because they're weird as fuck.
So weird,
Like
yeah.
I don't know Ween enough. I just know a little to know they're fucking weird.
So that's kind of my edge with like Fish, like because they covered a Ween song. So
Sure. That's where I first heard them.
Yeah, I was always like a huge Ween fan. So it's like, oh, okay, I could kind of get into this. And then I think it was my first show. Everyone started throwing tortillas, and I was like, I haven't even seen a tortilla yet, but somehow everyone in the whole crowd was just chucking tortillas everywhere, all over the place, and it was kind of just like the weirdest experience being.
That's at Ween?
No, Fish
At
at a
Fish.
Fish show. Yeah.
That's a thing they do.
Yeah, there's all kinds of like, and they kind of wait for like the perfect part in the song too. Like there's so much to it.
It's like Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know,
Yeah.
there's like certain times where we all throw the thing, or like we all go woo or whatever.
Right. No,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah. There's so much of it. And I don't know too much of that kind of stuff, but all my really good friends are like way into it. Like, damn, they played Yem. Like this is the first time since 99 they've played it in this state. You know, they kind of know everything, which
Yeah.
I love tradition and history. So
Sure.
having friends that like kind of carry that forward is really kind of important. And I'm like, you're almost on the outside, like what you're saying. Like I tried to show Fish to my brother. He was like, fuck that. I will never go to the show. This is the worst thing ever. I hate it. Same with my other groups of friends. But for some reason, these two dudes like love it. So it's like, and they're my best friends too. So it's kind of
Nice.
like, all right, yeah, I'll go along for this trip.
Nice. And we were talking, you make music yourself.
Yeah, I just released an album last year, Sus du Monde. Yeah.
Cool.
As
Really cool.
Nathan.
Sus du Monde is the name of the project. So my brother's a producer.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. And
How
so,
do you spell that? What is it?
So Sus, suspicious.
S-U-S, yeah.
And then Dimond, D-I-M-O-N-D. It's like a kind of play. It looks kind of like diamond, but
Sus
it
du
means like suspicious of the world. It's kind of like the idea of,
Yeah. Sus du Monde. I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which
Cool.
I
You
am.
said your brother produced it. So he's a
Yeah,
musician.
he's a musician. He's always been playing in bands, Phoenix area. So yeah, he's doing really well. I think a lot of bands just kind of dissolve. So he's been in and out of like a couple really it's like you release an album, it's like that high is there, and then it's like, okay, we played 4 really packed shows. Like, what's next? You know, like it's kind of one of those feelings. But I haven't played a show yet, but I definitely want to with this album.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like it's kind of hard to listen to because there's not much else like it. It's kind of like,
I love that.
you know what I mean? It's like I can't figure out what I'm listening to, so I don't know how to relate it to this. You know,
It's great.
but it's almost like early Beck is kind of like my reference.
Cool.
Yeah, like really like first album Beck.
Sick.
Yeah.
What was the production process like?
We would drink a lot.
Good.
Yeah, we would drink a lot and stay up really late and just kind of have fun. Yeah.
Cool. And your main instrument is?
So I play guitar, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm kind of like a jack guitarist. I was trained and like went to, you know, courses and took it in college and everything, but now I just kind of pick it up and just hammer on it as hard as I can. Yeah.
That's me with every instrument pretty much. Like I can, in the studio, I just got to play it once, you know? So like I kind of play everything, but like you don't want me in your band playing the piano, you know,
Right.
like you're not going to trust me, but you'll be like, what is he, you know? I'm a decent drummer, but
Cool.
that's kind of my only instrument. Other than that, but I can do everything
Right. But not well.
in a studio. Yeah, not well, but weird or confidently enough to chop it up and
Right.
destroy it and make it something, you know?
Yeah, I wish destroying instruments was part of being a musician, but
Oh, the Who did it.
what do you do? I smash guitars.
Smash. And the music, it's hard to listen to. That's how you market it.
Yeah.
It's actually hard to listen to.
You got to listen to
Check
it
it out.
4 times to understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but you
pretty
should check
cool.
it out. It's actually, there's like a few like sleeper hits.
Grower, not a shower.
Yeah.
I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah. It's fun.
And
it's
honestly,
really cool.
you should tell everybody it's hard to listen to.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like, check it out if you think you can handle it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Like it's like
It's like a test
dare.
almost.
If you,
Yeah.
if you want.
Like, what? You think I can't fucking enjoy music?
Yeah,
That's weird.
See if you can get through the first song.
Paul's
actually.
always
That's
like, you got to manage your expectations. That's like one of his go-to. I'm just managing expectations. So I feel like that lowers the bar.
It lowers
so
the
you can
bar.
only go up from there, really, because you're already going in being like, it's not
Yeah.
going to be great. He already told us.
If you overhype something, you've like
That's your
you've
pet
hurt
peeve, Paul.
the impression that the person's gonna have. If I tell you this movie's great, you're gonna love it. Like they're gonna enjoy it a little less now.
right.
Like, and no matter, and
I don't do that.
And you can overhype too. Yeah, you
I'm
don't
like
do
that
that.
movie sucks. You don't want to watch it.
You don't want to watch. You can't handle it.
Yeah.
it's not easy to watch. It's not for you.
I want to do that with everything.
should.
Temper
Yeah.
everyone's expectations.
Yeah,
Keep 'em
because then it's
low.
like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, that reminds me of something. I take this with me, and this is like exactly what we're talking about. I learned this from another ex-girlfriend, different ex-girlfriend. You just don't mention something. Say like you ran out of salt and you're cooking. Don't be like, hey, I ran out of salt.
Yeah, how is it? I ran out of salt.
Yeah, because then they're just thinking about, man,
I
this.
need salt.
But if you don't know, there's like a little bit salt missing. It's not in your mind. So I kind of carry that with a lot of my life.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, whatever.
I try to
I
do
kind of
that.
smell, but I'm not gonna be like, do I
Right.
stink?
right. Or if you're
Or
like
like-
late to a party, like
I
I'm so
was
sorry
gonna
I'm
say
late.
late.
Like they actually don't
Yeah.
care that you're late.
Nobody
it's a
gives a
non-issue,
shit.
but
Yeah.
you're just kind of acting like it is an issue.
And you're bringing all the attention to the fact that you're late.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying not to
I'm
do
just
that.
here to party.
Yeah. Better late than never.
Man, if I had something I wanted to ask, but
You want to talk about fish again?
yeah. Let's start with Trey, all right, and we're going to go through the whole group.
Oh yeah, just listen to Trey's side projects actually first,
Is
and
that
that'll
the-
get you into fish.
that's-
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to really
exactly.
fully get the whole perspective. Now they're good, man. No, I'm happy for fish.
The gateway drug.
Oh, I was gonna say with the getting drunk and recording with your brother.
Oh,
like you're kind of.
I'd
you're-
love to talk about this actually.
You're showing up with. Well, I'm just fascinated by the way people. You know, everyone kind of produces an album differently. You know.
Yeah.
You're coming in with like, I wrote some songs on guitar and like, let's do them.
So
Or-
he'll come to me with a beat,
Cool.
and then I'll kind of sing to it and live with it for a little bit, get like a hook or an idea. Most of the time, it's like, okay, I want to talk about getting drunk, you know, or having sex, whatever. This is the song about a sad situation with a girl. So most of the songs are about having sex and getting drunk and being with a sad girl. So
That's the genre.
yeah, so it's like for me, it's like this really crazy outlet, right? Like you can't really experience it in art and fashion, like being able to be behind a microphone and it's like, all right, bleed. And then you're just like right there face to face with this thing. And it's like, you know, you're going to have to listen to it forever. And he's really patient and cool with the way we like we write together. Like we'll just like kind of ghostwrite. He'll ghostwrite a little bit, and I'll be like, I don't think that makes sense with what we're talking about. But then I'll try it, and it's like, whoa, this is like a weird metaphor actually for this like fucking thing I'm trying to express. You know? Yeah, it's really weird. Like one time I said sand, trying to get some sand. It doesn't really make sense, like who's trying to get sand. But when I started looking at it or thinking about it, like sand is like determination. It's like those
Gritty.
those like, yeah, exactly. And like the pebbles, like just washing and getting smaller and smaller. It's like this weird, like kind of metaphor for, it's weird. Yeah. I love like
like persistence kind of. Sand is persistently on the beach and like taking the beating over and over, but it's still there.
Yeah. I love the idea of making a metaphor, and it's like, no, it doesn't really make sense. It's not like a like for like kind of thing.
I
It's
appreciate
like,
that though. That is better artistry than like so on the nose with something. You know,
Yeah.
like there's so many songs that I find off-putting lyrically because it's just like too cliche or like not original or whatever. So I kind of appreciate that stuff that still allows for interpretation.
yeah, we were trying to be unoriginal.
It's unoriginal and it's hard to listen to. Sustimo.
No, imagine that. Like, let's be really unoriginal in this project.
I mean, it's a
Formulaic
great place to
isn't
start,
bad,
honestly.
you know?
You probably would end up original, you know, in trying to
Totally,
be
right.
original.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever gets you started. I don't know. Like there's this Willem Dafoe thing I come across on Instagram where he's like, you know, if people are like afraid to act or afraid to like paint, like make a bad painting. Try to make a bad painting, you know, and like you'll be
I
surprised.
love
Like
that.
you know, what even is a bad painting, you know, like, and just go into it, like try to do bad. Like let's
Yeah,
make a song.
that's
Like,
it.
let's just make a terrible song. Let's do it. And like probably
It's your hit.
it'll be yeah, exactly. It probably would be their hit.
And then you'd be the Beatles. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Are you anti-Beatles? You don't like the Beatles?
I don't like to say I am because I appreciate what they did for rock and roll, but I don't own a Beatles record on purpose. And are you guys Beatles fan? Before I keep
I like the
going?
Not-
Beatles, but I think
We're not Fishhead Beatle fans, you know?
Fishhead
We're not,
Beatle fans.
no.
when people say the Beatles are overrated, I like, how could they not be overrated? They're
They're-
so
yeah.
highly rated.
So
They
highly
must
rated.
be overrated.
Exactly. And that's why I don't listen. You know what I mean? Like
so it
I could sing.
gives you this. You have to kind of cross your fingers at it.
But the
Or cross
thing
your
is, like,
arms.
because it's just in the ethers, right? Like, you could sing every Beatles song
Yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's already in my head.
Sure.
I can listen to Yellow Submarine right now.
Yeah, you don't have to put on
I don't
vinyl.
have to put it on. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
That's kind of it for me, you know? Unlike us, like at the drive-in, like that, or like Sparta, or whatever, you know, like that really kind of chaotic thing. You can't recreate that in your mind, really. You need
Too
that
much
volume.
to keep track of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like the small things. But yeah, the Beatles is just like ding, 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 ding. It's almost like nursery rhyme to me, I guess.
Funny.
But I love John Lennon. I fucking love him as a person. And yeah, I would never say anything bad about the Beatles. There is no
don't have to
conversation.
like the Beatles,
It's not
yeah.
Beatles versus Rolling Stones. I feel like people do that, right? It's
For
like
sure.
I'm this or this.
Right.
It's like it's impossible. There's no choice.
But when people like, yeah, I mean, it's that overhyped thing. Like the Beatles are overhyped, and it forces some people to feel like I'm not jumping on the hype train. So that means I'm off your train. Like your train is too hyped. You know, I can't just kind of stand like idly by on that train. It's just a hype train,
It's a hype train.
which is like Fish. Fish is a hype train.
It is. You
Yeah,
got to be
it's a hype
ready.
train.
You're either
gotta
on the
be
train or not.
ready.
Taylor Swift, like
hype
Yeah,
train.
I'd
hype
say
train.
Swiftie. Yeah,
Beyonce,
she's a
hype train. You
Hype
know,
train.
Yeah, there's no
I
in
could get on
between.
that Beyonce hype train though.
there you go.
I could.
I feel like
definitely-
Beyonce's a little hype. I'm a little like.
He doesn't
To me,
care
she's
for Beyonce.
overrated. She must be.
Oh.
yeah.
Because people were saying she is like the top female artist alive.
I don't think so.
I mean, I thought it was
that's
an
a
She's
lot
not
of
interesting,
my
hype.
top female artist alive.
but it's an interesting question, right? Like, I
It
don't
is.
even know if I could come up with a top 5 because there's so many, right?
Yeah,
Like, how do
it
you
is.
say one? I can't even
and
do
there's so
a
it's
top
like
5.
apples and oranges like a
Yeah.
million times over. I know I have a hard time, but for
Beyonce's
me,
a big deal. Very well accomplished. Deserves a lot of credit. Should be in top 10
For
female
sure.
artists
She's-
for
yeah.
sure.
So you like her?
by the
I like her. But that's the thing.
so you love her.
But that's the thing. It's like I like her.
Totally
I don't love
busted.
her. I'm not like I don't. She's not my queen.
See, you're busted because Fish isn't even in my top 10. So I totally caught you.
Oh, so I'm a bigger Beyonce
Yeah,
fan than
then
you are
I'm a-
Fish
yeah.
fan.
You're basically Queen Bee of
That's
fan over
funny.
here.
Damn it! Foiled again. Well, this was cool, man. Glad we
Yeah.
finally
Yeah.
did this. Dude.
Yeah,
Thanks so much
super
for
fun.
coming
Yeah,
over. Like,
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
yeah. and then the
It's
running
fun
long
to chat.
time.
I feel like the last time I saw you, you were excited about some new projects too. Anything you're working
Totally.
on?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can leak it, but it's called Tumbleweed Video. And hopefully this is, the last name change of, like when you think of bands and
Sure.
clothing companies,
Yeah.
it's like, I can do that forever. But hopefully this is the last one. That's what I'll say.
Cool.
And is there what is Tumbleweed Video?
So it'll eventually be a video store, actually fully functioning, but do, top 10 lists and kind of talk about film, like what I'm working on right now. The first one I think I'll do is Arizona-based films. So if it was either filmed in Arizona and they didn't talk about it, or if it was in Arizona. I always love the one, it's like Tucson Tech is like Biodome. Like there is no Tucson Tech. It's just so sick that they talk about it and kind of call it out. And
Biodome takes place in Tucson.
Yeah, yeah.
The Biodome was in Tucson.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is here still. You
So-
can go.
Oh, really?
Still is.
I've
yeah.
been. I've been.
I thought it
and
was but we're talking about Pauly Shore's Biodome.
Right.
Pauly Shore's Biodome. Yeah.
The one and only, that
based off of-
legendary
He owns
film.
it.
I fucking love that movie.
It's so good,
It's
yeah.
so great.
So a lot of my stuff will be like 90s based because a lot of the good VHS that's out there is 90s. So,
So it's a video store.
It'll
I
be
can
a-
go in there and buy or rent.
but
Buy?
not buy. I don't think I'm gonna sell any VHS because then
Okay.
if somebody comes in looking for Ace Ventura and it just walked out, it's like at one point they're gonna be more and more expensive on each actual video. So
But it's a rental. You can rent it.
it'll be a rental store, yeah.
Sick.
So I definitely, I'm hoping, because I love the idea of chains and video store chains. So I'm hoping there's multiples in the next 10 years.
Cool.
Wow.
Because it's about to turn the same way like Japan started making record players again, like they stopped making VCRs in like 2016, something like that. So
That's
I think,
later than I would expect, actually.
Yeah. Well, the last tape was 2006. So they kept making VCRs because they added the DVD with it. So it was always like a combo.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So that's the other part of it. Like the Instagram will turn into like this kind of more like a real situation as opposed to like, here's my product. It'll be me talking about something that's cool.
So you'll do kind of a podcast about films.
There won't be a podcast. I've done the podcast before and it's kind of just, it's a difficult thing for me because it's like, I don't know. I want it to be quick and short and, top 7 things you didn't know you needed.
Okay, cool. So it's just like a
kind of like, earbud.
content, social media content.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's hopefully what gets people kind of excited about going to the store because I'll have cute snacks and beer and
Nice.
apparel. The biggest thing is apparel. So
Sick.
Tumbleweed Video t-shirts on the runway in New York in 4 years. That kind of thing.
All right.
Yeah.
You
Love
heard
it.
it here first.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Love
You
that.
heard it here first. That's true. I'll remember this forever.
That's
Yeah,
right.
And then
Cool.
all my competition that's also planning a new VHS store. Great.
So excited.
Don't try it, guys. I got over 5,000. Don't try it.
It's actually the coolest
You got that
thing.
inventory.
Coolest
Yeah.
thing you could ever do.
Do you have a nemesis like
Reverse
that you see at all
psychology.
the estate sales and you're like, fucking Bruce is here?
No, other people do though.
Ooh,
Other
I love
people
this.
for
Please tell me.
sure
Spill the
do.
tea. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
there's
okay,
so-
off
there's-
air. Let's do this.
There's
though.
so much of that.
It's like a reality show.
Yeah. And I hear about it constantly at
Amazing.
Midtown too. Yeah.
You said you were going to go to both flea markets today.
Yeah, Sears. Sears was today too, right?
That's the one up in the Oral Valley or something?
At the mall, Tucson Mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little
Nice.
bit dusty, but that's kind of how I like it,
Cool. Yeah. There's apparently this other Second Sunday vintage market or something. And they're like really aggressive and combative in their marketing. And they're always like the original Second Sunday flea market. And like they really are always coming for the Mercado.
I think that is the one.
But they were a vendor that like left the Mercado. It's funny.
This is Christine's nemesis.
This is my nemesis.
you
I've
have
never
one.
met her. I've never.
Oh.
She's not really, but I've heard that she's not that pleasant. And sometimes vendors will come back. So it's this funny world of like vendors going and getting favorite markets and then moving around and like boycotting one and go. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, there's so much drama in that world because
Yeah.
it is kind of cutthroat. You do
Well, it's
need
like
to be
people's
there first,
livelihood
and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so much. Like, anything
Yeah.
you get means I don't get it. Like it's limited by nature.
Right. Well, it's all relationship based too. So this person's been doing it for so long, so they have real relationships with estate sale people, and they're just buyers. So it's like they'll get the call, they'll get the first grab, and so people go in when it's just starts and they already see that person's name taped on everything, they're like, what the fuck? How did that? You were so rich in like all of your spoils, and like, just give me a piece. But yeah,
I want in.
there's so
All
much
this
drama.
is making me want. I want in on the drama. I want in on the clothes. I want in on the magazines.
Sourcing.
I'm
Ready to source.
I'm ready to source.
I'm ready to source.
Look
too.
out.
Actually, I can't wait to see everything I bought today. My whole living room is full of bags of
Dang.
shit. Yeah.
Dang.
Really good stuff too.
Love that.
Yeah.
Woo.
And where do you store everything? At your shops or like?
I'm lucky enough to have a house that I can squirrel. I'm good at squirreling, so
squirrel it away.
I go up towards the ceiling in a lot of ways. Yeah, like against the wall, but up.
Against the wall, but up.
Like
So
stacking,
yeah,
stacks.
stacking. Yeah, like I
you
can
got like
stack.
curtain rods.
It's mostly like crates. So like
okay.
milk crates can stack like 10 high,
Sure.
and be pretty stable. So
Cool. I love a
Yeah.
milk crate too.
I love
We
milk
picked up a
crates.
lot in LA that were just trashed on
We
the
got
street.
these on
and
the
I-
side.
Oh,
We're
look at that. You
what?
guys
They,
Like,
they
no way,
come in
someone's throwing
handy.
these out.
you got 3 milk crates. That's crazy.
I think we might have more.
We
than
love our
that.
milk crates.
Love them.
Look, we can't all have all these milk crates like you.
I know. You
like-
caught that I was talking shit?
Yeah,
I got
3?
like 40 milk
You're like, oh,
crates.
3,
Stop.
that's cute. 3 milk crates. Wow. You could put a gallon of milk in that.
But they were free.
They were free.
were
So
free.
I pay for my milk crates. So
Oh,
yeah.
now who's a sucker?
Yikes.
I know. I can't remember the last time I got
What's a
it
milk
free.
crate go for?
The ones I bought today, I got hooked up. They're 4 each. But
$4 each,
at
empty.
the thrift store, at the thrift store right now, they're like 5, where they used to be $1.
And they're that shape or they're square?
Yeah, that shape.
That's the shape.
That is
That's
the shape. That's the shape.
If you fill that with a VHS collection, it feels like they're made for it.
How many fit
They
there?
fit perfectly.
Like 2 high and then all the way across?
Yeah, two stacks high, and then on the side you can get like 9 like 3s. Yeah, they fit. It's crazy.
Wow.
And that's how I count. People ask me like, you went through and counted them all, but you just like count one and times it by.
Count the crates.
Yeah, count the crates.
Wow.
System,
Yeah.
method to the madness. That's
Learning
how you
so
do
much.
Let's print that T-shirt. Count the crates
it.
Count the crates.
Yeah. Count the crates.
with like muscles.
Count the crates.
crates.
Rewind the tapes.
Rewind. Yeah, I want to do something like that, like
Yeah.
a rewind kind of thing, because those stickers
Please
are
rewind.
so cool.
Yeah.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind.
Yeah,
Rewind.
yeah. Those people are. There's a lot of tape heads around. There's already like VHS stores in LA and everywhere, so they're already kind of repopping that stuff. But
Well, I never really saw it anywhere, so I'm gonna just go ahead and pretend like I did just think of that. You know,
What, Be
Just
Kind, Rewind?
Yeah. No,
Think
like
you just invented Be kind, rewind?
no, I know it was a thing, but like, of course, everybody knows it's a thing. But yeah, it's still special to me. Okay, I felt good getting there.
Good.
yeah, it
Okay.
is special. It's a really special thing because they really were trying to be nice about it. Because
Yeah.
it sucks to have to rewind a tape, especially like all those returns all day long.
Sure.
Yeah, and for the people that aren't tape heads, this is like a pretty important thing I want to say to everyone. Those rewinders, don't use them.
The like quick rewinder.
Yeah, the quick
thing.
rewinders. Yeah, some of those tapes they stop so abruptly they could snap it. So
Okay.
yeah, just in case anyone starts getting into VHS tapes from this podcast.
So
Good.
wait,
Thank
just
you.
do it at normal speed.
Just
Don't turbo speed
normal
it.
No, you can turbo
VCR.
speed in a VCR, but they
In a
make things
VCR.
that it doesn't play the movie or anything. You just put the thing in and just like it just like
Yeah,
like
Gotcha.
rewinds it real quick.
like a fast rewinder. Yeah,
Yeah, and those are bad.
those are
Right.
bad. Yeah,
Those are the
All
true
right.
nemesis.
I want to go to my parents' house now and see all
See
the.
what they
They
got.
have
kept
a ton.
lot.
They have a ton. Yeah, they actually.
Aristocats, does that do well?
I love
Does
Aristocats.
the
the clamshells. No, that Disney stuff. That's all. It's a hoax.
that shit's everywhere.
Yeah, it's a
What
hoax.
about like there was the bigger kind of plastic case, and then there's
Sure.
like the cardboard case.
Yeah.
Is the plastic case worth more?
it? Not worth more. Usually they're a little bit older. A lot of the time, like your '80s kind of stuff was always in that. But really, that's just for. Excuse me, I'm getting a frog in my throat.
No problem.
When you're returning, like they go into those slots, you needed that. So a lot of the time it was for like video rental. So they would like, when you actually find those plastic cases, it's just a cut box that they put into that sleeve. So you can just toss it around.
Oh,
sense.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the box was so it was just for protection.
Yeah.
Just like a kind of padded, harder
yeah,
cover.
Yeah. And I don't know if they were, they were sold like that at one point because in the 80s, tapes were like $100.
Oh, shit.
really fucking expensive.
When they first
Yeah,
came out.
When they first came out, yeah.
Because
VCRs are
otherwise,
like,
you had no way to watch a movie at home,
Right.
when on your own time.
there's no way you can watch it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
I
Really
mean,
crazy.
this is so obvious, but I just never thought about that. Like, yeah, that's the first time it's
In
like
the dark
we can
ages.
watch this right now. We can pause it if we want.
Over and over
Life-changing,
again
yeah.
too, right?
Right.
Rewind one more time.
Sure. Again, kids just
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was
just
me.
like see it on the timeline of human evolution. You know, it's like such an important moment.
the VCR
Well, just like that kind of media access. Wow.
and control.
Yeah.
And then now it's like with streaming, we have even so much more control.
Totally.
So watch TV while you
Hey,
poo.
it's being taken away though, because now people have to have like 5 different streaming services just to see everything. That's $100, $200. Why not add a video membership? You know, come see me.
Subscription based.
Why not add
Yep.
some community around
Good
it?
for you.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I love when we're big Seinfeld fans and like
Oh,
the
huge.
video show, like the video shop culture and like,
Champagne video.
yeah, and Elaine who like falls in love with what's his face's pics. Like she feels like she's
Oh,
getting
yeah,
a
and it's a
relationship
kid.
and it turns out to be a teenager. And
I love that
don't know.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. And like the shame and embarrassment of renting a movie that you like shouldn't be watching, you know? It's just so great.
There's a lot based around video because it was a big deal in that time for sure.
Yeah.
And you can see in Jerry's house, he has like 10, you know, like 7 of them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't
Man,
have, you didn't have
Blockbuster.
5,000.
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
That was also a like the kind of like how the vinyl record, like people would buy just like the cover art meant so much, like with VHSs, I guess DVDs too. But when people were still renting, like what the cover looks like was so important because like you want a kid to grab it. Like I want to watch that.
Totally.
Now that's really not the cover photo or whatever, the poster, not that big of a deal. Like the trailer's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just like swap them out sometimes on Netflix to see what performs better.
Yeah,
It's
they'll
like
just do a random photo or a
change
random
it.
screenshot. Yeah.
At least on their like original content and stuff.
Yeah, like that half baked cover. You know, like I just picture like I want to watch that. Like but it's so colorful. Like it looks
Yeah.
funny. Like I want to see that. You know.
Usually it's either funny or scary. You know right away
Yeah.
based on the color and everything.
Yeah.
But then, the step further, reading the back, just getting the synopsis, like, holy shit, it's so cool. And like holding, like if it's R, like, Mom, look, it's not R, like trying to hide the idea. Or parental advisory was always like that. We would cut parental advisory out so we didn't have to worry anymore,
Oh, and then take it to
Clever.
the register and buy it.
Oh, no,
Or
at home, buy
and
it.
then
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah. Just take it off. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. They don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. We'll never listen.
These kids. They
These
got it
kids.
so
Rascals.
easy.
They don't know how good they have it.
World at their fingertips.
As we were actually thinking we had it the best.
I know, and they'll be saying the same thing when they're
I mean,
our age.
we actually did though. We're the last generation that didn't have like phones in our childhood.
Yeah, pretty wild.
We weren't tracked by our
Computers.
parents.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not much richer than that.
I don't know. You could have grown up in 1965 and
Yeah, that'd be
Had a
cool.
pretty good time,
Yeah, that'd be
That
really
sounds
cool.
nice. Just hop on our bikes and go for a ride.
just disappear. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Huh.
All right. Well, Nathan,
Hey.
thank you for doing this.
Yeah,
So fun.
very lovely
Susty
having
Mom.
you here.
Susty Mon, check it out. It's going to be really hard.
Cool.
Yeah,
Painful
know if you
listen
should,
coming
honestly.
right up.
probably don't.
Don't do it.
Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Cool.
Thank
Hey.
you, man. This was
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you.
Glad to finally
All
do it.
right. Yeah.
All right.
Love
Good
you
night,
guys.
everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Lovelady.